Since I'm using this as a diary, I kind of wanted to just recap some of my feelings through that time frame of getting the diagnosis and leading up to that, all of that. I don't know if you can hear my dog. She's taking a big drink of water, so but um I mentioned in one of my other entries, I guess, that, I was really worried whenever I felt that. It was kind of a sinking feeling because with my family history and just um, knowing the different feelings within my breast previously, I just felt like this isn't going to be good, or this is potentially not good. Um, but I was kind of trying to just be like, oh, it could be, a fatty lump or, whatever. Um, so I was trying not to go down a path of negativity with that, but I was definitely worried and concerned and fearful, just even from feeling it. Um, when I got to that ultrasound appointment, um, I had a hard time even getting through that appointment, just because I wasn't prepared, mentally prepared for what I was going to hear as far as, their concern. I don't know if I was just kind of in denial a little bit or what exactly it was, but I just was in there just oh, everything's great. I'm gonna just get this, and it's probably nothing. I'm just making a big deal of nothing, or worried about nothing. um so when they immediately were also concerned and taking quick action, I just felt like I was overwhelmed with information. I barely even remember them talking to me about scheduling the biopsy, because I just was like, this cannot be happening to me. I'm terrified. I was also there by myself, just because I didn't have any idea that I would get any of that information that day. Just the concern. And so I would highly recommend, if you are going into an appointment like that, it's probably good to take somebody that is somebody from your support system, just because like I said, I barely remember anything that they said about the biopsy. And I drove home and I was just in tears. I remember calling my mom and just being like, they're really worried. I have to go in, and now I'm worried, I'm scared. So anyway, that was a almost a harder day than uh the day that I actually found out, almost. um so anyway, I got in to go. So sorry, this is a lot. um I got in to go to the biopsy, and my daughter went with me that day, which that was fairly quick and easy. So that part wasn't too bad. Um, it did hurt to get that biopsy, so I guess just a caution there. It turns out that I just don't think that I was numbed well enough. So just make sure, if you're getting that procedure, that you ask to be numbed, and make sure that you're not feeling anything, because apparently you're not supposed to be, and I was. So that wasn't great, but nothing that I couldn't get past. Anyway, um so like I said, it took one day to get those results back. With the world today, everything gets loaded into your medical portal, and then you hear from them. So the results, I got a notification that I had test results. I read them for myself and saw the positive. So I knew before the nurse called me that I did indeed have cancer. For me, that's good. That was good. Like I could kind of like start processing before someone got on the phone with me to tell me that. But they were very good about calling quickly. So they did call me and let me know. And it was just, there wasn't a lot of information at that time. It was just that it is an invasive ductal carcinoma, and how large it was, and then what the next steps would be. So the next step would be that you'll be meeting with a breast surgeon, and she'll go over your staging and grading and all of that to get like the specifics on what type of cancer you have outside of, like, there's a type of cancer and then there's all of the markers within it. I was very ignorant about all of that. I didn't know what any of that meant. So I'll get into that at a later time. But yeah, those were really, really hard days. It's easy to just feel like, why is this happening to me? Or just being scared for, like, I've never been scared that, like, you know, I'm gonna die or anything like that. I feel like I've always felt like my prognosis is good, like this is fixable. It's just more about like how this is going to be impacting my life, how it's going to be impacting my mental health, how it's going to be impacting my self-image and my self-esteem. So just, I think the grind of what I'm going to have to go through the next 12 to 18 months, that's the part that has felt overwhelming and made me sad. I'm not very good at accepting help, and I'm definitely not good with like medical stuff. Like I hate taking medicine. I will do anything to not do that pretty much. So you know, thinking about, you know, chemo in my body and all of the implications of that long term, and it's just all super scary to me. And then finally, just like, it sounds vain, but like the chemo was like the thing that I didn't want to do the most, and was like, have been the most scared about and the most upset about in this process, just because of the fact that it like obviously does what it's supposed to do and kills all of the bad stuff, but it also kills all of the good stuff in your body. And you know, there's research that shows that it can be harmful in other ways, like long term, if you have specific issues like with heart and different things like that. And so it's just scary. But also, I don't want to lose my hair. I like my hair. I don't want to walk around like that. I want to be so badly that girl that is just like, F everybody, I'm gonna rock my headscarf, like, I don't care, and just do it. And I don't know if I'll get there or not, but I think it's more about the fact that when you lose your hair and you're going through that, you look sick. It's an outward like notification to the world that you're sick. So like everything else, you know, you can kind of like cover up and go out into the world, and like people don't need to know your business, I guess. But with chemo and like losing your hair, like obviously there's wigs and different things that you can do, but like it's just a notification that, hey, I'm sick. And then it takes so long for your hair to grow back. So Ugh, that's probably been one of my hardest hurdles to overcome with this, and I'm still obviously struggling with it. So, um, pray for me that I have the strength and the courage and enough badassery to just rock the headscarf and not give a care about people seeing me without hair.